Okay, we're testing the new filming rig today, and I'm gonna do, alright, I'm gonna do a 10-minute attempt. I usually don't time them, but why the heck not? I'm gonna do a 10-minute attempt on this lock that's been kicking my ass. Alright. Let's see what we can do. You know what, I've had good luck trying to rake it into something. Let's give that a shot. This lock is pretty beat up. It was in an outdoor installation on a door that I purchased from a salvage place. I tried to get it off the door but could not, and it's because I didn't know there's a way to pull these out that I was unaware of at the time. But from the other side there's like a little nib, and you can get at the nib. I'm not going to waste time talking about it. There's a way to get these out of a door that I didn't realize until I fucked around with it for 2 hours after smashing the door with a sledgehammer and paying full price for it. But it's cool. They're a charity over there. I don't care. But it gives terrible feedback. It was actually pretty jammed up when I first opened it up, and I cleaned it out and re-lubricated it. And there was like a plastic hoopa-joop in here that broke when I took it out. So, hence the tape. There's actually like a little piece of metal in there under the tape to just keep everything in place. But it gives terrible feedback. I've seen the inside of it. The bitting isn't that bad, but it's very well made, and then also worn out. And so it gives just nothing in terms of feedback. It should be able to enter a pretty dirty falset. There's a couple of spools in here, but it's also got standards in it, and so I've definitely not made that much progress trying to pick this thing because I've never really gotten it into a proper falset. And the AC is kicking in. I don't know actually how audible that is on this recording. I'm trying a new like software method as well, which this is like literally a test of it, so I don't know what my audio levels are going to be like at all. Some stuff is hung up and or not. So I'm just getting nothing. Like everything feels like it's binding, and then no feedback. Switch it up to some top of the keyway tension. Set somebody, maybe, I don't know. It's hard to tell, because everything's very sticky inside of the lock, so sometimes it feels like something's set, but it's not. But that also means you can't really tell when something is set. Not a lot of feedback coming out of here. A lot of fun with this thing, though. I don't have a key for it. I might see about doing something about that, because it's just a Schlage keyway, so it'd be pretty easy to get a blank. Didn't have anything. I know pin 1 is high cut, I can literally see like when it's all the way down, you can see inside where the key pin ends and the driver begins, so I know it's high lift. Feels like he's set. Well, I mean, no it doesn't, but it's not coming back down. So we'll give that a shot. The pinning inside of these things is pretty good. There's, if I remember correctly, it's 3 standards and 2 schools, and they alternate. So it's not bad. The fit and finish inside of this lock, well, not the finish anymore, it is pretty grody in there now, but the fit inside of this lock is really good. High tolerance. Tight tolerances, actually don't, I think low tolerance means the same thing as tight tolerances. I'm not an engineer, I don't know these things. I just sort of like pick it up from what I can learn from YouTube, not actually looking at the videos, but just like it's on over there and I'm listening. I think that's how a lot of people use YouTube. I need to get a better clamp too. I actually have been eyeballing a really nice clamp that I'm not sure if very many people look at as a hobbyist's clamp for this sort of application, because it's a little bit overbid. It's a Harbor Freight. Ooh, gotta be careful about that. Harbor Freight has this clamp that it's like a tiny like welder's clamp, like a tiny metalworker's clamp. Those kind that are like the whole head of it can swivel all around. It's got 2 sets of jaws, one on either end, and it's on a swivelly base. But the whole thing is like this big. It's like lit. And so it's way miniaturized for what it looks like it's designed for. But I was looking at it compared to like a Panavice or like Dremel makes like a plastic knockoff Panavice, and it's like it looks like it'll hold a lock a lot tighter than any of those things. Be easier to move around. Clamps here, so even though it's on the edge of the desk, it's still got a way tinier footprint than a Panavice. Like, I mean, I like a lot of the features of a Panavice, and I understand why they design it with like a big suction cup base, or the alternate is the like foot wide like tray thing, but I just got no work for that on here. It's just not for me. So I need something small that clamps down, and I'm looking at this little Harbor Freight vise. It looks pretty good. The only problem is that I live in Canada and we don't have Harbor Freight here. And for reasons that I'm not entirely sure of, whatever factory in China makes this thing doesn't really seem to have a contract to sell it through anybody but Harbor Freight. I did find it like on like Amazon.ca for like one really sketchy seller, and they wanted like $90 for the fucking thing, like plus shipping, and I was like, no guys, no. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, so I'm getting a buddy in the States who was thinking of coming up to visit. I'm gonna get him to buy one and bring it to me, but I don't really know when that's gonna be. Oh, did that? This thing's a piece of shit. It feels like it enters a false set, but like I marked it didn't. It's just sort of like popping around a little. It goes like tickety 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 when I'm interacting with it. Fuck. It gives me nothing. This is just very tight, and I feel like I need to give it pretty heavy tension for it to tell me anything, but when I'm like fighting how tight it is, it jams up. It's like a perfect amount of tension for this lock, and I can't find it. It's also the only like Euro cylinder lock I've ever gotten my hands on. It's this weird combination of I've never played around with a Euro cylinder lock before, and this is probably one of the like most used locks I've had the pleasure of playing with. So it's like it's quite a step for me. I'm not that good a picker, really. I feel like I have more time and practice invested in taking them apart and disassembling them and putting them back together and fucking around with the pins and stuff than I do with like actually picking them open and closed. Like most of the locks that I can regularly pick open and closed aren't anywhere close to this one in terms of quality. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fun. I don't know. I guess making crazy demon pins is funner. It's weird though, because like I a couple of times now working on a challenge lock, what I'll do is I'll make incremental modifications and then try to pick it and feel out how much harder it is to pick and go from there. And a couple of times now I just brought the lock so far outside of my own picking abilities that I was kind of just like taking shots in the dark, and I was like, alright, I'm gonna stop making modifications to this now because I don't know if it's better or worse anymore. I just can't tell. I don't know. The first time that actually happened, I just gave up trying to pick the lock open, and it's funny because I've made other locks with guts like that inside. Oh. Okay, I had like one pin set. Fuck. Well, alright. But anyway, I sent that lock to Bosnia and Bill. Long story short, I couldn't pick it open. I was like, well, it's full of evil. Better send this to Bosnia and Bill. And he hasn't, at least he hasn't put up a video of getting to that one yet. He did open the package it was in, and there were multiple locks in there. He liked the name of it, though, so that's nice. Anywho, I hadn't thought up the putting Robertson screws inside of them yet, so Bill don't have to worry about that. Anyway, I guess there's nothing left to do but call it here and go check my audio levels. You know, don't pick locks that aren't yours. Have a good one.